Setting up on the beach on Friday. Chuck the duck in Lugnut shortly after launching. Starting beach there. Skipper. Sunrise over the Skyway Bridge. And ahead across Tampa Bay and the inside route that we're going to take today. Put a reef in, probably not quite needed at the moment, but it's supposed to be needed later. We're still making better than 4 knots with it in, so we're happy with the progress. You can see over there most of the Class 4 boats are heading for the outside. We're going to take the inside, given the predicted winds. Passing the stand-up paddlers as we get across Tampa Bay. Got a lot more guts than I do. We just passed the Cortez Bridge. Been light winds for a while, so Chuck is rowing. The winds are showing some signs of picking up again. This is Dolphin Gal coming by us, complaining about these excessively strong northwest winds that we're in. Well, she'll complain about them when they get here. It's still a very light northeaster, maybe east-northeaster. But hey, it's calm, relaxed proceedings. We're not going to complain too much.
We are still going the right direction.
Yes, we are still going the right direction. There's no tacking. Very little wave action. We're coming to Sarasota Bay. We stopped just at Longboat Key back there behind the island and put in a reef and furled the mizzen because it's getting a little windy. Just like the weatherman said. And here so you can see the current we've got going with us. Down in Sarasota Bay, about halfway down, and I believe we've caught up with Chief in his
Taka Clip AI.
Hey, Chief. We're doing good. How you doing?
You're doing fine. I'm just letting the wind blow over you.
Yes, that it's doing. It's in the waves in Sarasota Bay, aboard the Walkabout, with Chuck the Duck and Lugnut. Pegged 8 knots on the GPS. Passing under the first Sarasota Bridge. A little bit steep there, just calmed out for the kind of a goodbye to Sarasota. It had been fairly calm for seas for a while, but then it got real rough there for a few seconds, but calmed down again. Say hi for the camera. Nice ride down the bay, huh?
Actually, we had to slow the boat down so I get bearing fast.
Yeah, we were coming close.
We had to reef.
Pelican. Yes. Thank you. You
guys are motor sailing.
There's some dedication, paddling and sailing all together. Coming to the Venice Inlet and also coming up to Leather Lungs. It's 3:38 in the afternoon. Another couple of those we've had. Hey Neil. Back there, folks, is Venice Inlet. A lot calmer this year than it was last year.
It's kind of lumpy out there.
Yeah, it does look a little lumpy.
Hatchet Creek Bridge.
Getting some wind in the Venice Canal.
What's that?
There it is. Sailing with Leather Lung. What's the GPS say?
6.5.
6.5 miles an hour. One reef raised the sail up a little bit to get it a little bit higher. Making good time though. We're at the north end of Pine Island Sound. 9:49. We got underway about 7 this morning on the other side of Boca Grande Inlet, where we had to spend the night. We left checkpoint 1, and instead of the northwest 20-mile-an-hour winds they projected, we had a dead flat calm. No wind at all. We rode, I don't know, 6 or 7 miles, I guess, and anchored behind an island, put up a tent in the rain, and shivered for about 3 hours of broken sleep, and then got up and ate according to our preferences and packed up and left. And it was very rough getting across Boca. The Boca Grande Inlet always seems to be, but the wind has died down a little bit since then, and we're having a very pleasant run down Pine Island Sound. I'm kind of hoping this weather continues. A fun wake there. We are at the south end of Pine Island Sound. Mostly a light air run down, but about 30 minutes ago the wind started picking up just like it did yesterday. We do have the mizzen up. See that red marker up there maybe. We'll be jibing around that and heading off to the east to go up the last bit of Pine Island Sound and out Point Yable.
Wiggins Pass area, something like that.
You gonna try to go all the way inside to Wiggins?
I don't know, I'm not sure yet.
We're gonna try to get the new pass where there's a park, but we're What's your tribal name? Chuck the Duck and Lugnut here. Keep going. Sailing down the southwest Florida coast between New Pass and Cape Romano. A whole lot of the same looking scenery. Full sail up.
At the sheet to east.
Yeah. Left under real light winds, but it's gotten pretty boisterous, but haven't needed a reef yet. Doing between 6 and 7 miles an hour. Well, we started this morning with calm winds with an hour we had a reef in and a non-reef. Now we've just passed Gordon Pass and we're rowing. Almost no wind. We're waiting for a sea breeze to pick up, but it seems awful reluctant to do it.
He said it's got to be a lot more comfortable than that.
Well, how's that uncomfortable?
Lightning?
Wells off Marco Island. It's about 2:20. And there's the end of Marco and the Caxambas River, and an hour or so beyond that is Cape Romano Shoals. Just before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there's Cape Romano. Cape Romano Shoals, we've rounded the point, and here's an extensive shoal that's out of the water. That's the biggest one I've ever seen out of the water, and we're just before high tide, so that's pretty big. You might see a few sailboats up there. I don't know if they're part of Water Tribe or not. They're not on the course for Indian Key. And there, back there, is Cape Romano. And up there's Gullivan Bay towards Caxambas. Impressive, interesting place to sail. I got to come back and explore this sometime and walk the shoals.
White and brown, segregated color.
Sunset on Monday. Last flight of the day. We're approaching Indian Key Pass. I'm going to go in on the north side. There's a setting sun behind us and someone we think is another water triber. Got a nice west to northwest wind blowing us across Gullivan Bay from Cape Romano. She rounded with no problems. We're off Pavilion Key. Came out Rabbit Key Pass. Had a few minutes, had about an hour of fluky winds. We rode a little bit, but now the winds seem to have filled in. The winds have filled in from the southwest a little bit, and it looks like we're able to hold course. Hold course for East Cape Sable. And we might not have to tack, so that would be good news. The wind is predicted to back, so we got favorable wind predictions for today and favorable wind predictions for tomorrow. So that's all of the good news. And there's Pavilion, one of the prettiest things you'll ever see. Green Mountain Girl doing great. We're about 30 miles from East Cape. Plugging. They're looking very good in that boat. The not so intrepid helmsman. Sun going down, we're off the Broad River. Making about 3 knots for East Cape. Looks like it'll be a long night, but not a hard night of sailing to get to Flamingo. This has gotten to be our world on the Walkabout, compass and the GPS. Only doing 1.3 knots right now on an offshore tack. Not a whole lot to see here.
Our little sleeping area.
Yes, our little sleeping area. Where the off watch goes. We're taking right now. We're doing hour on, hour off. There's our not terribly productive sail right now. Light, very light airs, maybe 5 knots, maybe a little bit less. Yeah. Good. So we're just poking down the coast. We're about, I think, opposite the Shark River entrance, or Ponce de Leon Bay. And we've got, how far do we have to go to Northwest Cape?
11 miles.
11 miles to Northwest Cape, and about 8 miles past that to Cape Sable. So looks like unless the wind shifts, that westerly, predicted westerly, comes pretty quick, we're going to be out here most of the night and into the morning until a wind shift does come. A long night here on Walkabout, filled with light winds and a long calm, but we are at East Point with a favorable wind. The last of the stars have cleared off. There's our moon. And we're looking forward to getting around, getting to Flamingo, getting some food, and heading for the finish. Our fearless captain. What happiness looks like, a good bow wave as we come into Flamingo. Dances with Mullet, enjoying his new boat. Yep. Leaving Flamingo. Wednesday at 10:08 a.m. Very quick turnaround. My silly captain. We took the shortcut, went left after we got out of the basin because the tide is nearly high, and we made it. And we're heading over right over there for the start of Tin Can. We pick up the first pass in Florida Bay, Tin Can, at 10:24. We're doing 6.5 knots.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with this boat. It's so comfortable to lean back against the stone. You know, Jim McCallick doesn't deal with any such kind of thing. He's more of a Puritan kind of guy. What? Lean back and be comfortable? Nah.
Tin Can. And this is the channel, and you can see the bottom. Beautiful view, though.
Got a waterproof camera?
Yes.
You just drop it down under the water.
Coming to the dump key cut. You see we're already in the, right up most of the channel. He never misses a chance, does he? And then we go through there. Approaching end key, having left dump keys, on the way to Twisty Mile. Nice ride, flat water, lots of wind. Twisty Mile channel. We've gone from post to little metal stakes. See brown for the banks, green for the deep water. can see it snakes around, which is why it's called twisty. Just cleared Manatee Pass, running down the cloudy emerald waters of the east side of Florida Bay, heading to Key Largo. There's the start, the Intercoastal Waterway, after we've come across from Manatee Pass. A little speck up there is Dances with Mullet, we think it is Little Trimaran. And up there is the ICW on the way to the finish. Gotta shut this off because we're going to be jibing in a minute.